Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. It's Alessio speaking to you today from Wales, actually in Snowdonia in Wales, a town called Betsy Coed. Beautiful place, by the way, as you can see here. Amazing views of Snowdonia. So let's just do a quick update here about Bitcoin. Many folks have been saying, look, this has got to be the new upward trend, the new uptrend in Bitcoin, given the fact that Bitcoin has managed to recover from its lows near December and actually managed to go almost to 4,000, near 3,900 to 4,000 levels. So many folks are saying, look, this has got to be the bottom on Bitcoin and perhaps a new uptrend in Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to actually just give you my opinion about this. It is certainly true that the sentiment on Bitcoin has got crushed. Many folks, it seems, are truly giving up on Bitcoin. I don't mean the hardcore supporters who are watching this video, obviously, but I mean many folks, average people out there, seem to be, kind of losing interest in Bitcoin. We've seen already. I mean, I said this back in January. You may remember. In a video I published back in January, I said, look, most magazine articles and most articles online are really negative on Bitcoin. There was an interesting article from Bloomberg, as you may remember, with a front cover. The front cover was really negative about Bitcoin and quite rude as well. Bottom line is that, look, it is certainly true that Bitcoin has put in what you might call a higher low. Okay. What was really interesting and surprising, though, you might agree with me on this, is that Bitcoin came almost to the previous lows of December. So Bitcoin dropped, as we saw in the last few weeks, and came to almost the lows of December, but did not test it, did not even take it out, didn't even touch the previous lows of December, which is really curious and very interesting. I was expecting at least Bitcoin to come to test those levels, and I was looking for perhaps we might reach a bottom if we test and go just below those levels, below the 3,000 levels. The really interesting thing is that it did not do that. Instead, it actually put in what you might see as a higher low. Now, many folks are saying, look, because Bitcoin has put a higher low in, that this most likely is the brand new uptrend. After all, in technical analysis, in classical technical analysis, in classical or traditional chart analysis, when price puts a higher low in, that usually is a sign of a bottom, okay? Usually a sign of a higher, I beg your pardon, a sign of an uptrend, an upward trend, okay? So, but here's something interesting. The classical way of looking at an uptrend often ignores something also important, which is Elliott wave theory. Now, I'm a strong believer in Elliott wave theory, and according to Elliott wave theory, or EWT, what usually happens after a market drops significantly, especially after a wave 3, what usually happens, you put a corrective move, a correction called a wave 4. Wave 4 often is confused for an uptrend. Why? Because if you look at this chart, you will see that often when a wave 4 forms, wave 4 is composed of 3 waves called ABC. Okay, so wave 4 is composed of 3 waves called ABC, and the bottom of the B wave, so the bottom of that B wave, often looks like a higher low. It does certainly appear on the charts as a higher low, and sometimes that gets confused for an uptrend. For example, let me just give you a good example. Is back in 2014, you may remember, back in the last bear market of Bitcoin in 2014, Bitcoin dropped quite significantly and then puts a rally in, puts a correction in. Well, actually, it looked like a rally, and it looked like an uptrend. If you look at this chart, you'll see that what happened back in 2014 was Bitcoin rallied, put a higher low in, and everyone thought, oh, that's got to be the brand new upward trend in Bitcoin. Actually, that was an ABC correction, a wave 4 correction. And again, an ABC wave 4 correction often can be confused for an upward trend because it has a higher low, as you can see here on this chart. So I personally think that, yes, we're coming close to a bottom in Bitcoin. I think the bottom can be reached some point this year. I don't think this is it, though. So I think that what's going to happen is we're going to see this correction. This could be a very messy and unpredictable wave 4 ABC type correction. And then once the correction is complete, once we make the wave 5, we probably will see a wave 5 move lower to retest the previous lows of December, and then we're going to put a bottom in. All right, so those of you who are Bitcoin bulls, those of you who are strong supporters of Bitcoin, don't get angry with me, don't get upset with me just because I'm saying that we're going to see this wave 5 move to test the previous lows. I still think Bitcoin has a bright future ahead of it, as you probably saw in my last video. So although I remain bullish for Bitcoin in the future, I still think that this is a corrective move forming on Bitcoin, a wave 4 correction before we see another low forming on Bitcoin, and then we'll see potentially bottom forming as well. All right, guys, hope this video helps, and if it has, please give it a thumbs up, and also please subscribe for future videos as well.